Hi, Aryan. Ayushman, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so we will go live. Uh, we have our MD and CEO, Mr. Sundararaman Ramamurthy here.
Good evening, sir.
When you guys are ready, we can go live, right? 5 p.m. 2 minutes to 5 p.m. now.
Okay, sure, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Your mic I think seems a little bit low, so can you speak a little bit louder, right?
Okay. Am I audible right now?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
We can start, Ayushman.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. I am Ayushman from BITS, Pilani. We will be seeing from all three campuses, and it's a pleasure to host you today. So I guess it's 4:49, and yeah, I guess we can start. Okay. So I guess we are live. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this Thursday evening for yet another seminar with the Economics and Finance Association. It is a great honor that we welcome today a distinguished leader, a visionary, and a driving force behind one of the pillars of India's economic landscape. Kindly join me in welcoming none other than Mr. S. Ramamurthy, the CEO and Managing Director of the Bombay Stock Exchange. He was also the MD and COO of Bank of America, Indian arm. With a career marked by unwavering commitment to transparency, growth, and progress, Sir has not only shaped the trajectory of the Bombay Stock Exchange, but has also left an indelible mark on India's financial landscape. Under his astute leadership, the BSE has evolved into a dynamic hub of economic activity, driving investment and bolstering the national economy. His steadfast dedication to fostering trust and integrity has set a benchmark within the financial sector. Today, we have the unique opportunity to glean insights from Mr. Ramamurthy's vast reservoir of knowledge and experience. We'll explore the dynamic world of stock exchange, market trends, and the challenges that beacon us to innovate. Thank you and welcome, Mr. Ramamurthy.
Ayushman, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be associated with the growing, with the intelligentsia and the future of India. It's always a pleasure for me to interact with all of you. Um, Thanks for the quick introduction. I'm not sure whether I am a great reservoir of knowledge or not, but what I can tell you is I am a learner and every day I learn. And I'm sure from this session, I'll be going back with some learnings. Thanks for this opportunity. How would you like to run it? You will be asking me questions and I'll reply. You have sent a set of questions, or should I? How should we go about?
Sir, we will be asking a bunch of questions, but it will be great if you can keep it just, light-hearted discussion kind of a way, where you can answer the question and we can also, just maybe go a bit here and there to make it a little more intriguing towards the audience and you and me as well. So anyway, sir, that's, I believe, what we should do right now, if it's fine with you. Anyways.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, sir, like, to kickstart this session, could you provide a brief overview of the Bombay Stock Exchange and its role in India's financial market?
Sure. Bombay Stock Exchange is one of the oldest stock exchanges in the world, and it is the oldest stock exchange in Asia and in India. When we think of stock exchange, we all think that stock trading would have commenced after the stock exchange was born. But honestly, it's not that way. Stocks were trading in India even before the first stock exchange, that is BSE, was born. So why stocks trade? What makes a stock exchange work? Basically, quest of making money has always been there with human beings. And for that, people have been employing their own resources. An individual's resource is always limited. But in any case, resources are scarce. Individual's resource is even more scarce. So the scale of operation cannot be beyond a level. Then came partnership, then came Companies Act. Clayton's case, I'm sure all of you are aware. Individuals' limited liability in respect of a shareholding in a company, but immense benefit, unlimited benefit, what attracted many people. So corporates were born, therefore shareholding was born. And share trading used to happen across the globe, not necessarily through stock exchanges. In India, share trading used to happen through paper advertisements. Subsequently, and in those days, commodities were traded in exchanges. There were commodity exchanges across the country, and Bombay played a very vital role in commodities exchange. That gave an idea, and also because of the international development, people thought that Bombay should also have a stock exchange. And Native Stockbrokers Association is the name that is given to the group of people who joined together to start stock trading in Mumbai under a banyan tree. That's what they claim. And the banyan tree is supposed to be very close to my office where I am sitting and talking with you. And thus was born Bombay Stock Exchange. And it has been a very long history. It is 149-year-old now. From 1875 is what we are talking about as the Native Stockbrokers Association's formation. 149 years is a long period, which can be not necessarily always smooth, right? There were tumultuous periods. Always there were situations where big growth in the market and suddenly a boom and then everything goes down. All that had happened in the stock markets. Nothing unique to India. It is same as that of every other country. An important role which every stock exchange plays in any country is, first, to start with, it provides a platform for raising capital. And why capital raising is important, we just talked. With individuals' resource, you cannot build multiple enterprises. And Companies Act provides a provision, therefore, the capital raising becomes possible in an easier fashion when there is a secondary market available, for which the primary market happens when there is a stock exchange. And first, therefore, the primary market, second is the secondary market, and then the derivatives. And when we talk today of stock exchanges, they play a very vital role in derivatives market. Derivatives market help in economic terms speculators, arbitrageurs, and hedgers to express their view on the market and safeguard their portfolio. And therefore, the stock exchange play a vital role in capital formation, transfer of capital from one place to the other, and safeguarding of the capital using derivatives. It is no longer restricted to equities. Exchanges today in India have equity derivatives, mutual funds, and then retail debt, interest rate derivatives, commodity derivatives. You name it, you have it in a single platform. That is the sum and substance of what BSE is.
That's really nice to hear, sir. So as we all know that, just like you told, BSE is not only India's oldest stock exchange, but it is Asia's first stock exchange. So with this glorious, sir, I believe there has been some audio issue. We are streaming from all three campuses. So just give me a minute. I'll just make sure that it doesn't happen. Just 1 minute. Yes, sir. I believe it has been sorted. So we can get back to this great discussion. So as I was saying, as you mentioned as well, that Bombay Stock Exchange is Asia's first stock exchange, which I believe is a very proud moment for all Indians to feel that, because it is almost 150 years old. So with this glorious history, of course, that, in today's world, how does the Bombay Stock Exchange compare to other major stock exchanges globally, like in terms of market size, trading volume, and technological advancements?
Okay, let me throw some statistics here. Right, in terms of number of listed company, probably BSE is the highest in terms of the number. Around 5,400 companies are listed at BSE. Not only in India, globally, I think this is the highest number. In terms of market capitalization, we are 8th highest, soon inching towards bigger numbers. It's around 3.61 trillion US dollars, which is a mind-boggling number, right? Because there are so many companies. In index options, which I recently launched before 3 months, I guess, 3 months, it is 14th week, which has passed. We are fourth largest in the world already. Just to give you some idea, last Friday, which is an expiry day for this contract, we traded around 730 billion US dollars worth notional volumes.
That's a really big number.
Yeah, it's really big number. So, and we are the fourth largest across the globe in terms of index options. And in terms of currency futures trade volume, we are the third largest in the world. And in terms of systems and processes, I must say that we are sometimes better than that of the globe. T+1, and the number of clients that trade in India, individual investors. Today we have around 7 crores unique client codes, which is 13 crores, right? 13 crores, not 7 crores. 13 crore unique client codes registered with BSE alone. So these are numbers which are never heard of in any other part of the world. The most important thing about a stock exchange in India is it provides a settlement guarantee. When you provide settlement guarantee, the counterparty risk is taken upon by the clearing corporation. The clearing corporation does not know all the 13 lakh clients, right? So it has to convert the counterparty risk into market risk. That is the greatness of the risk management system. So a counterparty risk is, if I owe some money to Ayushman, it is counterparty risk.
Yes, sir.
If I'm owing money to Ayushman because of an instrument which is traded in the market, this counterparty risk can be nicely converted into market risk. When it is converted into market risk, that's what clearing corporations in India do. It can be monitored on an online, real-time, client-level, portfolio-based. This looks slightly simpler. It's not simpler. It looks slightly simpler in respect of equities. When you talk about equity derivatives, it's much more complex. For example, you just take Sensex option. I, as a client, can have positions in calls and puts near week and next month. They all do not have the same risk profile, and I may have position in multiple strikes, and I may have offsetting position in some other contract. So computation of the risk cannot be individual contract based. Options are non-linear. So it has to be at a portfolio level. So to compute the portfolio risk on an online real-time basis at a client level, because one client risk cannot be offset against another client's risk, because every individual client has to honor the commitment if the settlement has to go through.
Yes, sir.
This is a mind-boggling thing which India has evolved wonderfully without using any supercomputer. We are using simple systems which are interlaced in such a fashion that multiple computers can work in tandem at any point of time to provide the effect and impact what a supercomputer may provide. That is the level of technological advancement India and BSE have made in this area, which is a very, very unique thing. I can brag about all the greatness of what Indian systems are for the entire day. As you know, I have worked for 20 years in NSE in its formative years.
Yes,
Before
sir.
I went to Bank of America, I joined the team which came for setting up NSE, and I was with them, and went to Bank of America, and I am back to BSE now. So this market in India in the last 25 to 30 years has seen such type of developments. When we started, we used to think that we should benchmark ourselves with global good practices and best practices. I may sound audacious and arrogant. Believe me, I'm not. Today, I don't think I should benchmark myself. A lot of global participants are benchmarking themselves with what India is doing. That's where India has evolved. It is just not Chandrayaan. We have many other things where we have touched and crossed the sky.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's really nice to hear. And that's what we expect from a stock exchange, which is 150 years old, right? And with such big volume and serving such a big country. And I believe, apart from Chandrayaan as well, this shows our viewers and the country that there are a lot of things to be proud of about the country. Although it is still growing and there's a lot of potential for our 140 crore people country, but that's really nice to hear. And So, sir, let's divert from here and talk about you now. From a background in sciences, having done a BSc in chemistry, if I'm not wrong, from the University of Madras, uh, today you have reached one of the most topmost positions in the Indian financial sector. So, I believe it must have been a very interesting journey. And we all people watching this are very eager to learn about your journey. So, firstly, how did you break into the field of financial markets?
Honestly, I'm not a great intelligent person, or I'm not all that brilliant or anything. I'm a very ordinary human being. But what is very unique about me, which I'm very proud of, is I'm a very hardworking human. In my formative years, somebody told me, you need not be brilliant and intelligent. You be hardworking and have tenacity of purpose. You will grow in life. That's what was told to me. I'm sure, Ayushman, you were not born when I started working, right? Because it was
Yes,
40
sir.
and you don't look 40, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, when we were of your age or younger age than you, India was not in the situation what you have seen. We used to stand in queues for 3 hours to get 425 grams of sugar per person, per household, per month. 5 liters of kerosene, 2 liters of palm oil, some X kilos of rice. That is how we were grown. We used to walk miles for getting one pot of water. So we may or may not have slippers to wear, even if it is very hot sun. That is the type of life, and that is the family background from which I am coming. I am not here to tell you a lie that I have born with a silver spoon. So,
Mm.
from this humble background, when you come and when you have to fend for yourself, you catch every straw to swim across ocean. That's what happened with me. I finished my BSc chemistry. I did some odd jobs, to be very honest with you. And I was a junior engineer in Madras Telephones after some time, for some time. And then I got a bank's clerical job, clerk cum typist in Indian Overseas Bank. In those days, if you get a bank job, you have gotten a break. Clearly, there will be a lot of people standing in the queue to marry you, and you will get a good, nice family and whatnot. Uh, so my people were very happy when I got this clerical job, clerk cum typist job in Indian Overseas Bank. I was asked to resign the junior engineer post and join Indian Overseas Bank as a clerk cum typist. In the meanwhile, for 3 months, I have worked in a factory as an accounts clerk. So I had gotten myself introduced to basics of accounting up to the extent of doing a trial balance, a bank reconciliation statement, and putting a P&L in place. All that I have understood, but I had not mastered it. I had some, because I was forced for my living to take a clerical job, account clerk job in a factory for 3 to 3.5 months. In that period, this is what I had learned. And in the meanwhile, I became a junior engineer, and I did not stick on there for a long time. I went into Overseas Bank as a clerk cum typist. I was in inspection department and vigilance. So a lot of vigilance cases and inspection cases used to come. In a bank, inspection cases and vigilance cases are going to be talking more about finance, ledgers, how people manipulated things, all that stuff. So if you have to understand all of them and type reports, naturally and necessarily you start getting into finance more and more. In 3 years, so to be very honest, in those periods of time for me, how to make more money legally, that was the only thought process in my mind, because I was coming from such type of a background.
Yes,
So I
sir.
was told, if you pass CAIIB, you get for first intermediate passing to 1 increment, final you pass 2 increments. 3 increments was very big for me. And after all, it is studying something and passing, right? So I wanted to do it. You don't have to join any course, you have to study. But the thing is, it had accounting, it had banking, all those type of, and it has income tax. So it was tough for me. So you start learning. In those days, there used to be a book written by Batley Boy, and that's a very preliminary thing on accounting. And once you finish it, you have to graduate to Shukla Gravel and R.L. Gupta. So that's the way you go and learn accounting. I learned, and believe me, I cleared both CAB inter and final in a single attempt. In those days, it used to be a big honor. Then what do? I was told you get some incentive if you pass Hindi typing. So I passed Hindi typing. If you attend Hindi classes, there are 3 levels of exam. You pass, you get some money. I joined and I did it. Then what to do? I finished all this in 3 years. What do I do now? I am a young boy who is not even 24. I was thinking, what should I do? Somebody said, why don't you do a probationary officer's exam? If you write the probationary officer and they get selected, that could be an officer's post fast. So I wrote SBI PO exam. I got selected and I was posted in Madras Circle. So I thought life was set. Then, because of certain turns, I decided to join IDBI in Mumbai as an officer. I joined. So then what? What to do now? You have to do something in life. So I decided to do costing. I did ICWA. So if you look at it slowly and steadily, from a chemistry graduate, I got drawn into accounting, into banking, into costing, full-fledged cost accountant. Then a team was to go and set up NSE and I joined. That's how I got drawn into it. This is how my journey is. NSE, when I set up with the team, when I came, that was the biggest break that I can think about. We were very, very hardworking. So there is no department, no functional department in NSE which I had not set up. Maybe like finance, administration, HR, they were not set by me. You name any other functional department, it was done by me, including all the subsidiaries. So that became a vast exposure, giving me a nice ground for growing. While I may be sitting in front of you and today talking to you as MD and CEO, honestly, in my mind, I am still the same young person who was trying every day to learn something and grow in life. Because to me, once growth stops, decay sets in. You don't want to decay, you have to grow. You have to continue to grow. So that is what I am. That's what has been my journey.
So from your journey, we can say that you have been, smart and hardworking at the same time. As you said, you cleared all the exams, and by hard work, and it also tells us, I believe, fact that we should always keep moving forward because you never know in which direction life leads us, right? And that's really nice to hear from a BSc chemistry to being the MD. It was really nice to hear this. And sir, apart from this, after getting into the field of finance, what were some key milestones that have shaped your career up until your current leadership at BSE today? Like, what motivated you to join the Bombay Stock Exchange?
So there were a lot of key milestones which shaped my life. I'm not sure whether it is even one full day sufficient to tell. But I'll tell you some certain things which have been very important in my life. When you work very sincerely and very hard, looking only at the work and not looking at what is in it for you, you get noticed. And always in my life, I have found somebody coming and noticing that I am doing this and helping me to grow. I used to be very shy of talking. When in Indian Overseas Bank, after 3 years, I got the probationary officer's post in SBI. The entire IOB regional office of 400 people, along with the regional manager, congregated in a place to sort of honor me for getting this feat at such a young age. They called me to the dais to thank you, to talk, to share my views. Do you know what I did? I went to the dais and I said thank you and came down. That shy I used to be. And from there today, my only job is talking as MD and CEO. I need to talk to people. That's what I am paid for. Right? So this is a tremendous change. Who brought this in? It's not 1% or 1% or 2%. Multiple people have contributed to my growth. So what do? In return, I feel I should select a few people in my life, wherever I am, whichever organization I am. I should mentor them so that they grow in life. That's the only way I can repay to all those mentors who invested time.
Yes,
right? If you understand this background, you will appreciate what I am going to say now as to why I joined BSE. Otherwise, you will think that I am trying to sort of gas karke aap sochenge what I am going to tell. I was working in Bank of America. For some reasons, for almost all reasons known to everybody, the corporate governance in NSE suddenly became a problem. And only thing that I have earned in my life is my reputation. I didn't want to stake it, so 2014 I parted ways. I can't work for an organization where corporate governance is at stake. If I don't get paid well, it's fine, but not at the cost of my credibility. So in Bank of America, I was very well recognized. I was set to retire on 15th of June 2022. I was not permitted to. I was requested to continue for any time whatsoever long I wanted. And I agreed, and I could have continued forever. BSE's job is not a bed of roses. In a 149-year-old legacy institution, you have a lot of legacy issues. So to take this, my boss asked me in Bank of America, why do you want to join BSE? I told him I consider it as national service. Because I don't have to earn name, fame, or anything out of this job anymore. I have earned whatever I have to earn all along, and I am well settled in life. So for me, what I decimated into nothing sitting at NSE as competition, I have to resurrect it in the interest of nation. A country of this size cannot live with a single stock exchange. Because today you have concentration risk, cyber attacks, and whatnot. You need to have a viable, vibrant alternative. Providing that, I think I am capable of. So that's why I consider it as a national service. That was the purpose of me joining it.
That's really nice to hear, sir. And in fact, I believe, after gaining so much reputation and fame and doing this national service, I believe this will help the nation as well. Because as you said, the country this big cannot be run by a single, stock exchange. And having BSE as a front runner, a 150-year-old stock exchange is a great thing to have. And as you said, sir, like even I believe that bigger the organization means bigger the complexities that it faces, like not just BSE, but any other organization as well. So could you provide insights into the challenges that BSE has faced throughout its history and the strategies that it has employed to successfully navigate these challenges?
So if you look at it, in 2014, when I resigned NSE, BSE's market share in equities was around 30 to 40%, 35% you can say. BSE somehow had failed grossly in equity derivatives at that point of time. And currency futures, it was doing reasonably well. At the time, mutual funds had not taken off. This is the scenario when I left NSE for BSE. When in Jan 4, 2023, when I joined BSE, unfortunately, I find BSE's market share in equities had dwindled to 5%. Equity derivatives, they have still not opened any account. Currency futures, they are doing well with around 30-40% market share. Currency options, they have not opened any account. Mutual funds, they are doing well at 80% plus market share. Small and medium enterprises, they have some decent 500 companies listed. This is the BSE I had inherited. So when you say the market share has dwindled, along with it revenues have dwindled, along with it employee morale has dwindled, and therefore talent levels and talent pools would have dwindled. And since the market share is low, the technological systems are untested for higher volumes. So this is, in a nutshell, if I have to tell, is the company I inherited 8 months before. What has changed? Equity derivatives, we have opened account. We relaunched the Sensex derivatives. I'm not sure how much you are looking at the market. Just some time before I talked to you about index option being what number in the market, 720 billion. That means we have already made a beginning. And this is just the beginning. We have many more things to come. Picture abhi baki hai, right? Yes. So that is the first thing. And second thing is, in equities market, our market share has started improving. From 5%, it has gone up to 7%, 7.5%. Some days it goes and touches 10%. Currency options, we have made some tweaking and changes. We are seeing traction, we will go. Commodities, it is in our main radar. We are looking at it for introduction. Small and medium enterprises has come into our main radar. And mutual funds, we are trying to maintain our market share by improvising the system. So clearly, the transformation therefore has been first, upgrading the skill sets available, creating a better talent pool, and existing employees improve the morale and make them understand that we are here together for making a better future. Create a sense of participation in every one of them, and therefore they don't act like employees. They start acting like entrepreneurs who have a bigger challenge in front of them, realizing the challenge and getting the benefit of meeting them and getting the pleasure out of it. A shared success, media management, public management, meeting members and creating a bond. Till now, I would have met around 400 brokers across the country one-on-one. In 8 months to do that is very difficult because you then know you have a desk work to do, you have boards to manage, because there are a lot of subsidiaries for BSE. With all that, if you don't develop a connect with brokers, nothing is going to work for you. So these were some of the challenges which I think we have put in place some mechanism to meaningfully address and go ahead.
That's really nice, sir. And of course, I mean, just meeting 400 people, face to face and personally is a big thing, not just for a person who is the MD. I mean, of course, it becomes a very big task if you have the responsibility of such a big organization. But even then, if somebody tells me that, okay, tomorrow you have to meet 400, in coming days you have to meet 400 people, well, honestly, I'll be, a little bit worried about it. So it's a very big task, and I'm very happy to hear that and very inspiring. And so in recent times, there has been a lot of buzz about new technologies like AI and everything, and every sector is changing, rapidly to incorporate these technologies, to make increase the efficiency and the better the working of every organization. So about BSE, what are some latest technological innovations and trading initiatives implemented by BSE to enhance the trading experience for investors?
See, the trading systems cannot be just like that changed to incorporate new technologies. People will be very wary of touching them. Because you see, the moment you touch, and if anything misfires, you had it. It will be a global repercussion. So we don't go and change the trading technology. The peripheral systems associated with it is what we strengthen using a lot of technological innovations, while the hardcore main system is generally kept intact. Is that the matching engine is never touched so easily. The matching code is not touched so easily. AI is yet to get into the realms of stock exchanges in a big way. If you talk about some new technology creeping in, one thing which is slowly getting into the marketplace here is cloud computing. That is something in the offing. Other things more relate to architecture than about the technology. The technological architecture plays a very, very vital role in improving efficiency of a stock exchange. What does stock exchange do? Whatever product you take, it matches the intentions of two people. That's what it is, right?
Yes, sir.
It is a matchmaking engine. It is as simple as that. So, while it looks so simple, the number of times somebody proposes and somebody disposes is very huge. What proposal and disposal is all are called as orders. And if the match had happened, it becomes trade. Once the trade happens, it has to be cleared and settled. It has to be risk managed. There should be collateral. Therefore, there is a collateral management system. There is a haircut. It has to be dynamic, blah, 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 blah. So the main part is just matchmaking, but the periphery around it is very confusing and complicated. So the entire area here, how you how you improvise the architecture. When you talk about architecture, then multiple things comes out. The hardware, in terms of the servers, routers, switches, and all of them have logic. Those become important. This is on one side. Cyber threats, hacking attacks, crimes associated with it, they are increasing every day. If you run a stock exchange across the globe, people will be trying to hack into your system. You have a plethora of information. Very nice and interesting for anybody to come and hack you. How do you manage it? there is a good amount of technological innovations that regularly happen.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you have heard this term VAPT, vulnerability and penetration testing. That
Yes,
is
sir.
one area where there is huge amount of effort that goes in. Sensitive systems identification of sensitive areas and plugging the loopholes. It's another area where technological innovations are happening in stock exchanges.
Okay, sir. Yeah. So now to link a little bit of technology and stock exchange, although our institute is a engineering-based institute, but the university is filled with finance enthusiasts. And I believe the country in itself is moving towards more financial interest and literacy. So for aspiring young professionals are keen to know about the opportunities in market exchanges and the fintech industry. So what roles can young talent explore in this domain, and what skills are crucial for success in this field?
It's a good question. While I'm not a technology expert, I can suggest you certain things which immediately comes to my mind. So today, earlier on, I don't know whether you're aware how stock trading used to happen. People used to congregate in a hall and through using sign language, they used to trade.
Like it was shows in a show as well. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So that went away. And today people started trading using computers. But men were sitting behind the machines to punch. And then from a stock exchange, stock market moved to broker's office and then moved to client's office in the form of a laptop and then into client's pocket in terms of a mobile. And from there it has further moved into what is called as algorithms, where people write algorithm based on how the market movements are over a past period of time, and the machines automatically trade and make money for their bosses. The writing of algorithm is in itself is a great art. So that is one area where young market professionals can make money if they are good in technology and they are also good in finance, in stock markets. So that is one area, and data analysis. That is one important area. The second is today market makes a lot of trading based on trend analysis, right? People do a lot of analysis in this, charting and other things happen. So people who are interested in fintech can also find areas and avenues where they are able to do this job for themselves or for others. And third important area is the market is with plethora of information, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you mine it? How do you mine the data to have predictive capabilities of market? That's another important point. You talked about artificial intelligence. When you talk of artificial intelligence, can the market predict a probable situation where a manipulation can happen? Can neural networks be used onto the data to find some insider trading activities? The moment you start going into this direction, the opportunities are limitless. Because AI, neural network, all robotics, they all are very limited used today in stock markets. So that means there is so much of avenue open for it. Data warehousing, data mining, data analysis, charting, algorithmic trading, this is another big area open for young professionals.
So, and in today's world, a proper investor education and financial literacy are, I believe, essential for making informed decisions, as you also talked about. So, are there any specific initiatives or programs offered by the Bombay Stock Exchange to encourage and nurture young talents in the financial sector?
I will give a reply to this, but before that, I want to take liberty and make some statements.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Have you seen our recent videos on investor education, which we have recently circulated?
No, sir, I haven't.
See, the age group of my listeners in this place will be around 20 to 22. Can I presume that?
Yes, sir.
If somebody were to tell you that one day if you work, you will get a six-pack, will you believe?
No, sir. Of course
No,
not.
right?
Hmm.
So to develop a six-pack, you require proper diet and proper exercises over a period of time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And to exhibit it, you require a different clothing. That's a different issue, right? So you will not believe what is not believable. But in stock markets, what happens? Somebody comes and tells you, you know what, I'm going to give you a tip. I heard it from my friend who told me that his relative's cousin told him that this is possible. Then you'll ask, is it? What is it? You know what? That fellow bought a stock at 10 rupees yesterday. And today already it is 20 rupees. Think of it, no? 100% profit in a day. Then what happens? Your mind races. There are 220 working days in a year. 220 into 100%. It will be 2,20,000%. If I put 100 rupees today, by the end of this year, I'll be this. Do you think it's possible?
No, sir, of course not.
What is not possible, what is not believable should not be believed, right?
Yes, sir.
But many people believe and work on it. You tell me, any amount of investor education, can it educate them?
No, sir.
Right? So this is an important thing which young minds like yours should bear in mind. Greed is something where no education can enter it. And do all of us suffer from some amount of greed somewhere in our life?
Yes,
I don't
sir.
have to give an answer, right? Every one of us know. So greed is anti-education. That is one point. Second is, today, if I ask you some question which you don't know answer for, what do you do?
I'll search for it. I'll try to search for it.
Where will you search for it?
The internet,
Where in internet?
websites, Google basically. I'll just Google and take some reviews.
I tell very funnily, we will ask Google Didi. Correct? Google Didi के पास हर सवाल का जवाब है. Correct? अभी चैट बीटी भैया भी आ गया है. तो उनसे पूछेंगे नहीं तो Google Didi से पूछेंगे. Right? So if investors really want to get educated, honestly speaking, there is no need for any education seminars because so much of material is already available with Google Didi.
Yes, sir.
If we want to find something about our favorite actor or actresses, how much we do? If we want to buy one mobile, how much of research we do? So
Yes,
material is available everywhere. Are we using it? Is another question. Well, these are peripheral answers. Let me come to the main answer. Does BSE provide a lot of investor education? Yes. We have something called as Investor Protection Fund, which is specifically formed only for this purpose. And out of that fund, there is another fund called Investor Services Fund. So using this, multiple ways the education happens. One is through seminars. Other is webinars. Other material through our website. Lot of free data available in the websites for people to and take informed decision. Do's and don'ts by way of press releases and advertisements in the press, and release of various videos for the purposes of investor education. Anand, maybe some of the videos that we have recently made, you should share it to the group if you have their mail ID, so that they can go through it to understand what type of videos and what type of efforts the exchanges put in educating investor. If you do all this, will the investor get educated and will the investor get protected? The answer is a big no. Why? Anybody who does not want to protect himself can never be protected.
Yes, sir.
Right? In terms of financial literacy, there are lots of courses available, including courses from NISM and also from BSE Training Institute, which are oriented towards specifically literacy in stock markets. So they provide a very, very good ground for aspiring young graduates to become postgraduates in these areas and shine. And also institutions like ICICI have joined up with NISM, and they do offer postgraduate courses for aspiring young professionals to get into a job as well and also learn and all that stuff. So there is a good effort today on financial literacy and investor awareness and investor knowledge. Investor protection happens in two two parts, by telling do's and don'ts, and also by creating awareness on products. For all this, no, the stock exchanges have already earmarked some money. They called as a IPF or ISF, and then help people in this.
Okay, so I mean, from the gist that we can get is there are a lot of information already on the internet and provided by organizations like the BSE as well. But at the end of the day, it's up to the people whether they want to take that or not. In fact, funnily, it's just a two days back, one of my friend, a very close friend of mine, he has recently started investing. A little off the topic, but yeah, he got a tip about this stock will go very high, and today he's in a little bit of loss as well. So at the end of the day, I believe we should stress less on these tips and all. Try to use Google and other resources which are already available in plethora, and try to educate us ourselves, because as you said, sir, the one who doesn't want to protect himself or herself cannot be protected otherwise.
BSE website also has a plethora of information in case you require. You should go through it. Even when you go through net, all that is told in net is not authentic. So you should go for authentic sources, because a lot of people who called us, I don't want to name them, a lot of people try to influence the market by their own views, which may or may not necessarily be reflection of truth. So one has to be careful.
Yeah, we should. Okay, so I believe that after this, a lot of people will be going to these trusted sources and little bit less on the influencer market. And so, sir, what does the future of BSE in the coming time look like to you?
Vibrant.
That's-
Single word answer, because BSE is today with the revised logo, as you see, it's the power of vibrance. The one and only reason why I'm sitting here is to make BSE vibrant. So that is what its future is.
Okay, sir. And I'm pretty sure the whole country will be looking forward to this, because that's what we expect. And sir, the last question from our side is, as a seasoned professional, could you offer some advice or guidance to students on how they can become financially literate and manage their investment wisely? Of course, there are, as you said, there are a plethora of resources already, but from your side.
So I'm going to be very candid with you. First of all, I'm not a great person to offer you advice. I'm as good a learner like you. I'm also everyday learning. So I'm just sharing my views. I will not call it as an advice. My views are that at your age, you all would like to get some money from parents, or you may earn with some odd jobs that you may like to do in spare time. You may take tuition classes, you may work in some place, part-time, whatever it is, so that no, you get some money. Many times those monies are used in partying and going with friends and gifting to people and all that stuff, so that no, you have some amount of independence, freedom and all.
Yes, sir.
I'm not curtailing it. Please do it. At the same time, start thinking about investing along with it. When you start to invest, I do not know how many of you are financial professionals. There is something called as creating a portfolio. A single security has both diversifiable and non-diversifiable risk incorporated into that security. A security many a times follows a random walk. In that random walk, it creates good and bad impact on the prices, which is many times good for some people and bad for some people. So you need to have a diversifiable risk of a security removed by creating a portfolio. So if you are good in analyzing stock, in finding out fundamentally good stocks, and not looking for some technical charting to help you in investing and getting out, if you try to play it as a long-term game, please enter into stock after good research. How to do a fundamental research? Lot of material is available for educating. If you were to go to some of the biggest banks in the country, or some of the biggest companies which are manufacturing automobile, pharmaceuticals, like that, you make research and you find, okay, today I have this money, let me buy so many stocks of this and keep it for the time to come. You're very, very, very young. You have a long way to go. So in the process, these will go up. If you say, I want to get into stock market, but I don't know how to invest, how to find good companies, I know this country is going to do well, therefore the markets are going to do well, you have ETFs available. You can invest in ETFs. If you say that requires me to open an account with the broking entity, I don't want to pay brokerage, mutual funds are available for you. You can go and invest in mutual funds. At your age, what is don't is you should not look at derivatives unless and until you know what you are doing. If you know how to trade derivatives, if you understand options, if you can talk in terms of theta and vega, please be my friend and get into derivatives. You're suited for it. If you know driving a four-wheeler, then only you get into a four-wheeler, right? Because somebody is driving nicely and you love that speed, you can't get behind a car. You cannot get onto the wheels if you don't know how to drive. Same here. Everybody can walk. Can everybody drive a car? No. For walking, you require just two legs. For driving, you know expertise as well apart from a car. You develop the expertise and then trade options. To start with, in my opinion, you should first of all think how to save money to invest. And while you're trying to invest, put it in equity stocks if you can find the good stocks. Create a portfolio over a period of time. Don't look for short-term gains. At this age, that's not what you should be looking for. If you feel that is difficult for you, get into ETFs. If you feel even that is difficult, go for some large cap mutual funds. Not small cap, not mid cap, not thematic funds, because that requires greater analysis, which you may or may not be able to do. If you are astute and if you have made a lot of analysis and if you have learned options, and then you can try derivatives. Otherwise, that's not the right thing for you to start with. This is my humble view. This I am not telling you as a stock exchange CEO. I'm telling this to you as an individual who, like you, is also trying to find my feet in where I can put my hard-earned money.
Yes, sir. So basically, in a gist, we can say that until and unless you know the risk and you have the proper knowledge, it's better to play safe and, of course, have a long-term vision. We shouldn't look for short-term gains that, okay, in the next 1 year, I'll be a millionaire or something. Keep a long-term game till the time you don't have the knowledge, play it a little safe. There are a lot of options. And once you have acquired the knowledge, we can, of course, go for the derivatives and the high-end stuff. So, okay,
Nice.
sir. So now we have a couple of questions from our viewers. So, sir, in your opinion, what skills and qualities are essential for individuals aspiring to lead organizations in dynamic industries like finance and technology?
See, to lead organization, what you require is humility. You try to be arrogant, you will never be able to make it. And you should be trustworthy. You should be hardworking. You should be entrepreneurial. Nothing else you require. You don't require money. You don't require anything, any pull and push. You are humble. You have humility. You are hardworking. You are trustworthy. You will make your way up. You will lead organizations. That's my experience. I never had money. I was not that brilliant. But yes, I was hardworking. I'm not arrogant. That's what I feel. I don't know what others feel. Because many a times what you feel and what others feel do not match. So I think that's what has earned me the job.
So talking to you honestly, I do kind of agree that definitely you're kind of a person, I mean, who, as the points you mentioned of humble and not arrogance, because I am having a really nice time, although you are the MD and CEO, like, a very natural persona. So I'm really liking it. I'm pretty sure all your colleagues also feel the same way. The other question that we got is, did you encounter any major spontaneous events at BSE which you had not encountered in your career before, and how did you react to it?
When you have worked for 40 years now, you get so seasoned that nothing surprises you. Honestly.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes the situations are far below your expectations. Sometimes the situations are far exceeding your expectations. So that is the way I will put. Other than that, surprise करके ज़्यादा इतना आता नहीं है. बस 40 साल में तो आप इतना देख चुके होंगे, दुनिया देख चुके हैं, तो किसी भी चीज के लिए आप हमेशा तैयार रहते हैं. I can share with you some pleasant things which have happened. Let me be very honest. When I introduced Sensex derivatives on May 15th, 2023, I never thought that I will be this successful along with my team. I never thought in such big flocks my trading members and clients will be supporting me. It was very overwhelming. When we introduced this, the way people came and told, Sundar, you don't worry, we are behind this. It's our product, we'll make it succeed. So when the type of a warmth you see, it's overwhelming to you. At the time, you're not shocked or surprised. You feel very pleasant about it. You feel you have actually started contributing for the humanity in some way. Bringing a product which is successful into any country's stock exchange, actually, you are doing many things directly and indirectly for the human beings. I'll tell you how. When people start trading in a product, what happens is they make money or they lose money, they contribute for the other people. That's how I look at a loss made by somebody. And there is a dealer or there is some employee in the broker's house who is benefiting because of this fellow trading. The broker himself is benefiting. These people are earning money out of it. Therefore, they are able to spend. There are people, how it all gets spent? People buy computers, people buy servers, people buy AMC contracts, people buy out of this income many things which are many consumables. You know what? You have generated a consumption cycle. By providing a successful product to the country, you have made the consumption cycle to go round and round further faster. Is that not a big contribution to the economy? So when a product succeeds, you get overwhelmed, and that success is not because of you. One person cannot make anything succeed, right? It's a combination of multiple factors which make it succeed. You have been a small cog in the wheel which has made this to happen. You feel so happy about it. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at it as any unexpected moment coming and hitting me types. 40 years, you're so seasoned, your hair has become gray, you have seen life, you have seen all ups and downs. So things do not surprise so much.
Basically, so with experience and hard work, you kind of already get the gist of everything, and nothing seems new because you have encountered so many ups and downs already. That's really nice and inspiring to hear, sir, especially for young people like us, like 20, 23 years old, because we are just about to start our careers after this. So I believe it has been a really nice talk. As I can see, it's 5:55 exactly, and I guess we have already wrapped up with all the questions right now. It was a really inspiring and good talk, sir, as I already said. I hope you also had a great time. And yeah, thanks to Nirmal Bank Group for correcting us to the BSE as well. And because via this, I guess all the three campuses and on the YouTube as well, the streaming, a lot of people might have got insight, not just on the financial world, but about the fact that how to be better leaders and how to start their career on a positive note. About like yours example from getting it from BSE, from BSE to BSE, other people can also find the same thing. So I'm really happy to host this, sir. Thank you so much. That's all from my side.
It has been my pleasure. I wish all of you all the best in your lives, and all of you, I'm sure, with your hard work, will move up the ladder, and one day you will be leading this country. This country will be in safe hands of people like you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much to all our viewers as well for 1 hour sitting. And I hope you guys also had a great experience. Thank you. That's all from my side.